Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this section of reads. This should be on YouTube channel James 13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The stuff like the cards and the dice, those details will be below, somewhere below. Besides that, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? I almost wanted to say the Capricorn, so what's going on with that? Exactly what are we talking about with that there? One more or two? Well, what's up? There's that card. Okay. Oh. It literally pushed its way out. So I think to preface this, this is a reading where not only is this possible, but you're the one creating it for yourself, clearly. Like, creating it, you're creating this. Keep this in mind. Especially because it kind of like, it's almost like it was forcing itself out of the deck, kind of like, this doesn't naturally show up on its own. This is you recognizing things, having the potential and possibility to create something of great value. This is something that grows and gets better over time. So keep that in mind as we keep moving forward. This is not something you clearly have to do. I feel like that's obvious. I almost feel like you're going to be like, well, yeah, I know. Before I even get there. There's so much coming in at once. So let's start with the beginning. That's always fun. Just for fun. Let's start with the beginning. King of Cups. Exactly what is this for you? You learned something in the past. This is about something you've learned from somebody who you definitely felt very, very strongly for. Could be a friend, relative. It's in the past. It's a general read. How far in the past depends. You've learned something. And it's about somebody who, like, it's the King of Cups. I feel like they struggled, though, even though it's the King of Cups. Temperance reversed. And then the Nine of Wands like this, telling me they kind of gave off a lot of energy, but they kind of kept what they could. I feel like I'm looking at this person who was in control of a situation, and I knew that they were doing their best with what they had, and they had to do it their way. But I keep looking at it in the sense of, like, if I was in their shoes now, I would have done this differently. Somebody you greatly cared about, and you're like, if I was able to take control of that and help them out, this is what I would have done for them to help that go better for them. This is what I would have told them. This is what I would have talked with them about. This is how I would have set up that structure and help, encourage them to do it this way. Because whatever they went through, I feel like you have the hindsight. Hindsight is always 20/20, right? You have the hindsight to look at this going, that didn't have to get that bad. And even at the time, I knew that, but I really wasn't able to convey it. I wasn't able to be in that situation. But it's kind of like I would have helped in a different way. I'm looking at this thinking I really did care about this person, or probably still do. And if I was able to have a different effect at that time, I would have kind of been like, go like this, go here. This doesn't have to be this bad for you. That's the short of it. Okay. So that's something you're looking in the past. This is probably going to play more as we keep moving forward. Like, this might trigger a memory. Somebody, this is very weird. So let me I feel like I got to be careful not to overjudge it. On the outside, in your experience with the situation, something really good coming in. The Sun card, this is the best it's going to be. That's how I view it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is relative. Perfect is a construct, whatever. it's the best it's going to be for this moment. It's kind of like, you know, when you get together with like a family of 50 people or more, you're kind of like, everybody getting along is not realistic, but everybody being nice to each other and walking away from this event at the end still being decent to each other, that might be perfect. That might be the best we're going to get. That's just my opinion. In some situations, depends on what it is. Like the larger the family, the harder that is, in my opinion. This going on here, the energy is very positive for you. You're enjoying whatever's going on here. It's not bothering you, but you also have your anonymity. I don't think that's the right word. It's the 9 of Pentacles. How does anonymity fit in there? I don't understand that. Like, you don't have to be a part of anything you don't want to. It's kind of like showing up to this beach event and there's a lot of people. You've brought some food to share. People are sharing their food with you. You're doing things with other people. Here and there, you're helping people out where necessary, where you feel like it fits. I don't feel like I'm over-invested, but I am enjoying and participating. I'm not worried about the outcome. I know what the situation is made of. I'm just kind of like, probably like, if it was like a family event with 50 people or better, it's kind of like I know where to go near and I know what to stay away from. And I know how to handle this. And I know when, you know, some people, when alcohol comes out, you're like, okay, I need to kind of go away because I know that's not going to well. Other people, they relax a bit, and sometimes that's okay if they know how to handle their alcohol. We're just saying, you know how to handle this. You know how to maneuver it. It's going well for you. You seem to feel like you know what's going on here, and it's a really positive moment. At the same time, though, as it looks good on the outside and you're enjoying yourself, these two come together? Okay. In the environment, there's the 3 of Swords, and there's something here where things are moving very quick. People don't want people paying attention too closely. Somebody's going through something very rough. Something is really painful for somebody, at least one person, maybe a category of people. So like I'm looking at this as if it was a family reunion of 50 people or better. There could be like a unit of like a mom, you know, a family with a parental unit and a couple kids, and it might be something going on with that section. Like something's not right there. Maybe they're going through something that's not well. Maybe an in-law is having issues, something. There's something going on here where there's pain, there's problem, there's issue going on here. But things are moving very quickly. They don't want to talk about it, or they're just trying to hide it. It's going to come out in the laundry. It's going to come out in the wash, if you will. They're just trying to give you a heads up that things feel really good right now, and things can improve, but you're not really aware of it. People aren't giving you the information. People aren't sharing the information. You just haven't had a chance to see it yet. This is something I feel is going to mean a lot to you. Because again, this pushed out. This is like you can create a lot of value here for your life and probably somebody else. It's very much a one hand washes the other type feeling with this Ace of Pentacles. But the truth is coming out in the wash. The truth is coming out in the wash. But the Death card comes in. I feel like most people know this at this point, but this doesn't have to mean literal somebody passing away. This could easily mean a change that you're not going to return back from. It's kind of like, you know, if you think of literal death, when somebody passes away, life is just never the same after that. Even though this doesn't have to be a physical death in the sense of like somebody passing away, it could be where somebody moves out of a house, or somebody has to sell their house, or somebody moves into a new house. Once you, like stuff like that, new job, you know, somebody new comes into the family, somebody's pregnant, whatever. Could be anything like that, where all of a sudden, at this point forward, it's definitely had a big effect on life, and life isn't the same anymore. It could be somebody moving away, or somebody moving closer. There's that. Was there something I'm missing with that? Because I don't want to seem to put it down. So, it's coming forward informationally first. It's not just showing up. It's coming forth. I feel like when I said the word informationally, I'm like, is that even a word? I don't know. It didn't sound right. You know, you're getting notice that something's coming. It could be through, like for some of you, you're seeing it somewhere on social media. Other people, you might be hearing it through somebody. The people it's happening to, you might literally be hearing it directly from them. But it's coming through as information first. some of you, it's like I feel like I'm reading it off of a tangible piece of paper. Information is coming your way first. That's how it's starting. Remember, you have this possibility. You don't have to make anything happen. But if you do, great value here if you decide to. There might be a knee-jerk reaction of kind of like, I'll just stay over here. If they need something, we'll see what it is, and I'll make my decision there. You could do that. This seems to be the knee-jerk reaction. I'll just hold to the side, and if they want my 2 cents, or if there's something I can do here, I'll wait for them to approach me, and if they do, I'll decide if I'm gonna what or if I'll do anything. Seems to be the natural energy I'm feeling from this situation. There's another thing here. There's another possibility which would create this. And that's the Four of Swords, which is a healing card. Remember, this is the Ace of Pentacles. It starts slow. The analogy I like, my favorite analogy for the Ace of Pentacles is like planting an elm tree. It takes some time to germinate. It grows bigger over the years. It's not like we're jumping in, you know, at the front runner of the race. It's like, if you're going to use a race analogy, this is where we just start deciding, like, all right, let me get out there and start walking every day. Let me get my body used to doing this amount of exercise. Let me slowly build up to, like, how fast I want to get going. Like, it takes time. It takes, like, if you go from not running at all and then you want to run a marathon, I would say it takes a few years to really get into that. But that's just how I'm viewing it. But that's the point. It's a slow start. Slow start. This doesn't have to be like major risk. This just has to be, okay. It's almost like you know something's going on. You know somebody could use some help. And just kind of offering a little help to start with. And then, in my opinion, I think Capricorn is pretty good with boundaries. Like, I have a lot of Capricorns in my family, and they're only going to put up with so much, and it's not a lot, in my opinion. It's not a lot. And once you cross boundaries with a Capricorn, you're done. You're just done. If you disrespect a Capricorn, you're just done. That's my experience with it anyway. I'm just saying. It's knowing that the help is needed, and they're saying you have the ability to offer it at a comfortable level. And also realizing if they abuse that, you're not going to take it very long before you shut that door. So there's the possibility here where you can offer some help. Don't have to, clearly don't. You could change this situation for whoever it is from a negative to a positive. As much as positive it can be. I'm getting like the relief, the possibility you're allowing here. I feel somebody like almost like bursting out in tears because it feels like it's still not great. It's still not good, but it's kind of like they don't feel alone anymore. And you might just be touching base with this person, talking to them for maybe 10 minutes once a week. That might be literally all you're doing. But to them, they just don't feel alone anymore. And that's creating this. That could be that seed. That could be the beginning of something. Okay. They're just kind of pushing me forward. Go to the next. So I'm going to go to the next. Whoever this is, and this is where the past is going to play in. They're going to hit this bump where they feel stuck. Like, oh, I'm foobarred. I'm so foobarred. But you're going to be able to tell them, I'm not saying you're going to get involved in this fight, but this looks like, I mean, look at it. It looks like a fight to me. It's conflict at the very least. You're going to have information, and I feel like it has something to do with the past. Like you've seen something similar to it play out before, and you're like, well, here's your possibility. Here's what could happen. I'm not saying it's going to be fun. I'm not even saying it's going to be easy, but it's doable. And it could change your situation. It doesn't have to be this bad. It reminds me of like ripping off the Band-Aid. It's kind of like you can just deal with it and it's not going to be pleasant. You're not going to like it, but you can start setting it correctly. Maybe uncomfortable, It probably won't be super easy, but still, it's doable. And I feel like you're even, Capricorn's typically like, you have steps to get things done. You could probably even help them create a plan. Like, listen, you may want to get this done in one day. It's not. To be done right, it's going to take 3 months, and this is where you can start, and this is how you put it together. And you might be a touch base. You might literally physically help. It's clearly in your realm if you want to. I don't think you need to. But you might be like, this is what I would do, this is the plan. And you might be a touch base. Like, once or twice a week, you might touch base. How are you doing with that? If you want this to go better, you need to get on this point. You need to do this first. I'm not saying like nagging somebody, but just reminding them, like, this isn't comfortable and you want this to change. This could go a little bit better. This is what I would do. You asked me for my help. I'm just trying to do my due diligence to help this work out for you. Because I feel like whoever you're dealing with is listening to you and does take your opinion very heavily. Like, one, they don't take it lightly that you're even doing that for them. And two, they know, I feel like they have complete faith, like, this will work. So the fact that you're even willing to do that weighs heavily on them. And the second, that you're, that it will work. They feel like, yeah, well, Capricorn's stuff works out usually, and they stick to their rules, and they do what they say they're going to do. And this, if I want this to work out, here's my chance. I feel like this energy is compatible, especially with this Ace of Cups. Like, this energy wants things to improve, and you're giving them possibilities. You might physically be helping. You don't have to, is what I'm getting. It depends. You're the one going to be judging that, clearly. It's where this is ending up is actually feeling quite good. In one of these cards, I don't know. When it comes to Capricorn, I wasn't thinking of this as a card that you would be usually interested in. Capricorn likes to make something. Capricorn doesn't like just possibilities and dreams and thoughts. Capricorn likes to create value. They don't like to waste their time like dreaming and talking and blah, 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 blah. They want purpose, they want reason, they want results, from what I'm used to. There's a lot here that can be created from this situation that will bring you closer to this situation. And there's something about possibilities, especially with that Two of Pentacles. There could be business opportunities or something you learn from this situation that opens business doors for you. Could be contacts, connections. It's opening doors. It's not something I feel like I have to ponder and worry about. There's just so many. The Seven of Cups comes in twice. It comes in on the dice and on literally the cards. By doing this, you're opening doors, you're opening possibilities. I think I'm going a little too far with it because they're saying you got to get there and see what's in front of you, and then you will be the one deciding what is something of value to you and what is not. So it could be more than contacts. It could be more than business opportunities. You might actually start creating a different type of social structure. Take this with a grain of salt. Take this with a grain of salt. I just hope this doesn't sound insulting because this is literally how it came through. Some of you need an upgrade in social structure, and this might clear out those who you don't need in your presence and bring more positive energy, people who actually match your flavor into your presence. Take that with a grain of salt because I'm afraid it's going to sound a little insulting. I'm not saying, take it the way you need to take it. I just got to let go of it. They're saying that some of you definitely have people around you that do not serve you and should not be in your presence, and we need to kind of clear those out anyway. This could actually not only help clear that energy out, but bring better energy in and bring an upgrade in social structure for you. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. I just hope it doesn't sound insulting because I'm like, ooh, that sounded a little pointed. So it could be things like that. I keep getting like we're done. Okay, so we're done then. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.